Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Legion's Con exclusive 2-pack of Wal-Torr the Mad. Now, normally I don't do box stuff, but today is a very special occasion because my friend is now an action figure. At least I consider him a friend. Today we're going to talk about Walter Hagen, aka Wal-Torr the Mad, who runs the Legion's Cabal Facebook page, the super fan who is indeed a part of the Horseman family, in my opinion. But the reason why it's special because I promised Walter that we would talk about how he signed my box, and I promised that he would sign kitty faces. And Walter did. Walter signed 2 kitty faces for my 2 kitties. There's Walter. And I wanted to make sure I showed that off as promised because that's my man 50 grand and he deserves it. I'm super happy to have this as a 2-pack, and I'm happy for Walter, who is now immortalized as an action figure. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove our box as we got a lot of glare there. Right? We're going to talk about these 2 bad boys. It is Cosmic Wal-Torr and Meatless Man Wal-Torr. I'm not going to call him a skeleton. I'm going to call him a meatless man because that's what he is. He has no meat on his bones. He is, if anything, he's far from calcium deficient. He's flesh deficient. So, with this 2-pack, we have a wonderful, wonderful thing to go through. Now, I think by the time this goes up, my Sligo Riz video will be up probably at the same time. And this shares that body, that cosmic-centric body. And then we have our Meatless Man body, which has, I believe, one new part, which is this waistband and a new head. But everything else is pretty much like either a previous skeleton part or it's going to be, what is the name? The Krotos chest. Krotos. So, with that being said, I'm going to go through both. We'll get through it. Let's jump into it, guys. Now, I think I'm going to do our Meatless Man first. We'll go over our articulation and our look. Now, I got to say, I love this new head. And what's cool about it is, I believe we're getting it in the Necronomicus wave. Something like this. But with our new Meatless head, here we are with our new open mouth. Let's get a closer look. Oh, I forgot to turn on my front light because of the glare. Right, there we go. Right, we have our beautiful open mouth, which opens up. We still get a lot of range of movement even with this, and this is soft, so you can kind of bend it if you need to, so you can look really good. And we have a just like I did with Doc Knock. We can move that mouth, looking really awesome. I left the bandolier on, but yeah, it's there. Now, one thing I really enjoy about this is like the dust they kind of added to the effect, so it doesn't look new. It looks more like it's worn armor, like it's like a white dust particle effect, and it's all over the body to make it look like it's an older armor, like it's been through it, right? It's really, really nice. Articulation wise, if you want to pull your arm up, I highly suggest you pull this back ever so slightly like this when you want to hit your T-pose, because you don't want it to raise up against the armor. See how it just bends there, right? We have our Meatless Man there, right? I'm gonna push that arm back in because I had to heat these guys up. It's actually been pretty cold outside. As you can see, we get those 90-degree angles, so it's not gonna be like our main man, the Valiant Knight. We have our armor moving. We have a set of hands. Our hands are gonna be on a vertical hinge, just in case you were wondering. Yeah, both are on vertical hinges. And then we still have that articulation there. It is our inverted joint. This one, because the belt sits a little higher, what happens is that you're going to lose a little bit of that movement from side to side, but you'll keep it going forwards, right? It's a little tough in there, but it's in there, right? As you can see, I can still rotate it. Our leg articulation is going to be out of this world. Because it's a Meatless Man, he is not held down by the prones of gravity or flesh or anything like that. As you can see here, we can hit higher than a 90-degree, but we still only have that 90-degree angle. We can swivel our boot a little bit, and our boots themselves have generous movement, right? So look at him. Like, if you want to stretch them legs, literally, our boy can do it. It's without a doubt no issue for him. So he's going to reach for his peaches. I don't know why I said that, but it sounded good. Now look at that weird pose I got him in, but it does look really nice. Oh, and he fell as soon as I focused. The focus made him stop. Now we have that there looking really cool. I'm gonna leave him like that. And then we have over here Wal-Torr, the cosmic version. This orange armor is amazing. I don't know who chose this color scheme, but the black wash with the orange looks really fantastic. I love this. I love this so much, especially with the orange and red. 2 really good colors that I like to use in my color theory, right? It looks fantastic. We still have our normal cosmic articulation here with our head tilting side to side. We can do left and do right. We can do up a little bit, down just a like a literal smidget, right? As far as getting our arms up, we get a little under a T-pose. but we can still get there, right? We still have our forearm swivel, and it's pretty much the same as our meatless man. We're going to hit that 90-degree angle. Now, our waist area, we get a lot more range as it sits a little bit higher, a little bit looser, right? So we can still rotate around. That might be a little disorienting for some. Sorry about that. Now, our leg articulation, as you can see here, out the gate, it sits a little lower. But obviously, if you shift over the belt just a little bit, you can get your range just a bit higher. I'm going to say it's about 80 degrees, a little under 90. We still have our single jointed leg. We can still have thigh swivel. We can rotate it a little bit. And still generous ankle pivot. But we're going to be held up going forward and backwards a little bit by a little bit of movement here in the boot. So we still have our same range of articulation. It's just going to seem a little bit less because of our armor style. But overall, I think we're still in a very good place with our Cosmic Legions, as we can still get hunched over to get some good, some battle poses. I left the fist on first so we can talk about stuff. Now, as you can see, I have those guys like that, looking really cool. This 2-pack comes with a ton of nice accessories. That being said, let's jump into it and talk about it. I'll see you guys in a sec. So, as we continue on, let's talk about accessories. This is where it gets fun, because it's a lot of stuff. Now, we're going to go over the meatless man of Wal-Torr, Ambassador to all, Ambassador to Cabal. Now, our first sculpt that we're going to get is going to get our scapular head to pop on that meatless man, or you can pop it on your Cosmic Cabal. Doesn't matter. It's up to you to have fun. But this new cool scapular color head is pretty cool. Now, let's put this to the side. Next up, you'll get a bag. This is actually a really nice bag. We can just pop that on there on him, just in case you're wondering. This is not removable, but this is still, it's, focused. There we go. But you can still move the latch pretty well. Next up, you will get a Cabal flag. You will get a pole for this. And if you remember correctly, you can actually either pop like horns on the sides and helmets. So here's a great example. You can pop 1.0 heads on there. So if you want a head on a pike, there you go. You have it. Right? And you will get a pole piece for this. I'm actually trying to find it because it's split in two right now. But yeah. So here we are. So you can actually be a long-term ambassador, right? We have that. You will get a longbow. When you focus ain't focusing. You will get a longbow. My string was stuck for a second, but now no longer. With your longbow, you will get an arrow, and you will get a quiver. So all of this does come with your main man, 50 grand. Focus. I need you to focus. I know what's going on. There we go. Right. So you will get these three. Next up, you will get a Khopesh sword. I was going to call it a scimitar, but it's not. It's a Khopesh sword. I had to look this up. It was on the website. Shout out to the Four Horsemen for giving you the right names of swords, because I never get this kind of stuff right. You will get a sheath with a dagger. It's really cool. You got a little eye on it as well, too. Next up, you will get a drinking gourd with the Cabal logo. I think this is really, really nice. This is one of my favorite things right here. Then you will get 2 platings for the shoulder armors, which is really important, right? But most importantly, you also will get a cloak. It is not wired, but it's a nice fur cloak. Fur cloaks always look good in pictures, so keep this in mind. This one is done a little differently, as it has a place to place your arm through for the shoulder to go over. Let's actually try that out right now, right? So, arm goes through. We put it up, and then you'll see that it has an opening in the back for your shoulder to fit over, like a nice little arm cloak. Let's actually put that armor on. Ooh, my joints are still very, very tight. I'm going to find the porthole for it and pop that armor through. As you can see, it's hard to see right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to find the armor, place it through the porthole now, because I want to see how it looks too with you guys. I've been too busy just playing with the pack instead of actually like learning it. And that's on me. But I've been generally excited between this Valiant Knight and Vorgis. And Vorgis, oh man, I got to figure out that Vorgis cape. I haven't done it yet. Let me pull this a little closer behind the scenes so I can see what I am doing. plug that in. And is it plugging in? Because I can't see. There we go. So as you can see here, I'm going to call this our walking cloak because we look really fashionable in it. If you do the one shoulder over, plug it into the back, you'll actually have a really good spot for it. But as you can see here, it looks really good as an over-the-shoulder cloak. I'm really liking the idea of this. I'm actually going to fix the bandolier as well too. But as you can see here, it does look fashionable. Now, with all of his accessories being technically done, one more thing I want to add, because it's universal in my opinion, you will get a red Cabal shirt to pop on top of him as well. Red Cabal shirt is a must for any of those in the Cabal. And just in case you were thinking, oh, how do I get it on? It's very easy. There's Velcro at the back. That way you could put it on your Legions. So you get into it like a mech suit, right? Where you form a Megazord, you pop it around the body and pop it on. Put your arms through, right? I'm going to leave you off to the side as we go over Cosmic Cabal, right? This man also has a lot of accessories. This 2-pack is actually stuffed with a ton of stuff. We will also get a lens, a dome lens head. This one is great to give you some options to pop over. As you can see with this head, we can't pop it on, and that's pretty cool because you'll also get 2 other sculpts. You'll get this really cool sculpt here. Again, what is focus? What are you doing? You'll get this really cool sculpt here. I love this more alien sculpt that you can pop on here. No movable jaw, but it's beautifully designed and done. Based on what we saw originally way back when they first introduced Cosmic Legions. You'll get a 1.0 skull head. Ooh, those clear pieces, I'm going to go over that as well. This one actually has a hinge jaw that opens up. We're going to call this the Malleus Special because if you didn't know, Malleus is Wal-Torr's favorite meatless man. And he gets crazy with his meatless man. He has more Malleus than anybody else I know. When you pop this on, just remember that you can pop on your dome head. Make sure it fits. There we go. And now you can protect your meatless head from the atmosphere. So if you want to do some crazy kooky Umbrella Academy stuff, there you go right there. We will get a plasma rifle. And just in case you were wondering about those clear parts, plasma rifles, what you can do is for storage, you can plug one of these in and plug it into the back or plug it in the arm or on the sides or back here, preferably for those who are going to do it that way. So you can store it back here. So you have that. Then you can just pop it out whenever you feel like. Next up, you will also get hologram. This one is a beautiful light blue to offset your orange and reds. Then you'll also get a smaller blaster and an arm cannon, so you can place on the arm should you feel like it. So you get Danny DeVito, and then I ran and I just started blasting, right? So you have that as well. Then you will get one tubing, and considering what you're doing, you can just plug your tubing into any of your portholes. So you have one back here, and you can do one into the arm. So like I said, you can be like a respirator skeleton. Wal-Torr, you are not a respirator skeleton, trust me. Ooh. Oh, wait, I plugged it in the wrong way. Sorry. So let's plug this in this way, you in that way. And still, one of the cool things about this is that if you wanted to mix and match these two, you pretty much can, and I'm probably going to do that way later on after. As you can see, the tubing here. And not Tubi, the channel. Tubi is in the tubing. And that popped out, maybe because it's cold and the port is a little bit messed up, but yeah. Then we have our shield, the Cabal logo on the shield. And one cool thing about the shields is that when you buy the add-on pack, or let's say you bought Sligo Riz, you can actually alternate these pieces here with different shield pieces. Wal-Torr has orange lights on his with the red and black logo. Still pretty cool. As you can see, I can still press that in. We have a beautiful shield. You will get a handle for it as well too. So just keep that in mind. And then you will get a slew, and I do mean a slew of hands. Like, I have to take them all out, and let's go over them. Because, for those of you that know, Wal-Torr loves tacos, so there is a taco holding hand. I have the closed fist on him, so we will get open action hands. We will get some open action hands. get trigger hands. So you will get 2 sets of trigger hands. One trigger hand set will be for the vertical joints, and then one will be horizontal. As you can see here, there's 2 of the same hand, but one joint is going to be horizontal, one will be vertical. Come on, focus. There we go. Same will be done for the other side. Then you will get item holding hands. Now you will get 2 sets of item holding hands, just like the trigger hands. One will be vertical and one will be horizontal. I'm going to hold the opposite of each so you can see what's going down. Same can be said on the other side, as you see here. Then you'll get cool open action hands again, whether you want these to be for gripping or holding tacos or anything like that. One thing I also want to point out as far as the hands go, if you were at Legion's Con, please make sure that you got the hands, because they didn't make it in package, so they gave them to you packaged in the baggie. So if you didn't get any, I hope you go back and email somebody and see if you can get some. So yeah, make sure of that, right? Now, my favorite part is when we get to the size comparisons. We can see all the cool stuff to compare to. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get these guys ready, and I will see you guys in a sec. Alright, we're going to get into our size comparisons. I put Wal-Torr in the shirt. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, let us compare to other Mythic and Cosmic Legions. Here we are with Valiant Knight. Here we are with a Barbarian, right? So we see size them out. Yeah, they're all slightly different sizes, but it all works for what we have going on, as they are around the same size and completely parts compatible. So that means even if they aren't the same size, their parts are still all compatible. Then when you compare it to a 2.0 style body, these guys are going to be a little bit bigger, but as you can see here, still look pretty cool, right? Next up, we will do our brute scale. Let's mess around with the brute scale. Well, I'm trying to memorize names now, but I'm not there yet with the memorization of names, but I'm trying. Here we are with our brute scale. See, they tower over these boys. Let's remove you ever so quickly. Now we can do, I do have, where's that dwarf I had? Here we go. We're going to do a Zesray Studios, a dwarf, and we're going to do a AWOC figure, right? In no particular order. I'm just going to put them all out. And these guys are a little bit bigger, but as you can see, they still scale out pretty well with Legions. Let's actually move this episode. There we go. Let's even it out in the middle. So we know what we're getting into. We're a little bit right in the middle, right? Let's take these guys away. Then we can do, I know you guys see Ichigo in the background, but I'm still going to do some other stuff. Next up, here we have a NECA Predator, right? Then we have a Space Cadet Gomez. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff on my desk and a lot more in the background as I'm trying to work through things. So here we are, Space Cadet Gomez. We have a nice little wave of things that, even though they're all slightly different, they all could be compatible with each other, and I like that. I like that a lot. I like that even though things are different, they're pretty much the same. And by the same, I mean we all have similarities, right? And we shouldn't look at what's always different. We should look at what we have in common sometimes. Gives you a little perspective that despite different backgrounds, we can have something in common with each other. So here we are with Mezco Conan and a Star Wars Black Series pre-Vizsla. Right? Next up, we want to do... let's do a Valiverse. And we're going to do SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga. Right? Then we could do a G.I. Joe General Hawk. I just got this guy in today, so it works out. Then, if you want to try some other cool stuff, right? I have a Zesray's Bighorn. So you know how big boys are, right? And I have a Bloody Warlock from Memories Toys. And last but not least, I'm going to go with an Ogre Scale. This is my Kit Bash Ogre Scale. of Scourge. He's a big boy. He's also a four-armed dragon man, so I like that. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with owning a piece of what I consider history of living through someone, getting their figure through the Cabal stuff. I've missed out on other stuff before, and I also had stuff that, even though I enjoyed it, I didn't have real attachment. But I cannot tell you the excitement of having a friend be immortalized in a way that honors them and honors what they stand for. And it's really cool to see it, especially because it's well deserved. It really, really is. So, shout out to the Four Horsemen. Shout out to Wal-Torr. Shout out to tacos and beer. You know what I mean, Wal-Torr. But it's a really cool time to look at something as cool as this. We could all enjoy it. And shout out to Trev for taking beautiful shots. 1-6 shooter, by the way, if you don't know his name. You guys are awesome. And it shows. So, as always, continue to be awesome. And please, be good. Do good. Drink your water, guys. Later.